Joining us now from San Francisco is prosecutor Paul Henderson. Paul, thanks for being with me tonight. Let's talk about the evidence in this case, in particular the fire that these suspects set to the house. How much do you think it hurts the overall prosecution of this case?
Well, as you know, in a case like this, what happens is when there's a fire, oftentimes some key evidence gets destroyed. However, what you argue in a trial is that the defendants are the one that destroyed that very evidence. And so you get up and you make a statement and you let the jurors know, don't let these people off because they've destroyed the very evidence that could implicate them, because they were the ones that set the fire. They were the ones that destroyed the evidence, and they were the ones that tried to cover up the tracks of the evil that they did in that house. That's what's going to happen in this case.
And specifically, we know that there were sexual assaults, 2 of them committed at the time, and this is part of the case that the prosecutors are going to bring against these 2 individuals. We do know that the 2 young daughters were tied to their beds and ultimately died of the smoke inhalation, but their bodies were badly burned because of the fire set.
They were, and we also, though, still have the father, thank God, that survived, that's going to be able to testify, and he may be able to shed more light and may increase the charges that these people are going to be facing. So even though there was a fire, there's definite a trail, and there's definite evidence that prosecutors are going to be able to use against these people. If these are the guys that did it, that they've got these defendants, they don't ever need to be in society again.
Yeah, this case, they'll definitely be put away, I believe, at a minimum, for life, and we'll see if anything happens there with respect to the death penalty. But let's talk a little bit further about the strong evidence that the prosecution has. This mother was very brave and smart in thinking to let the bank employee know what was going on to set off sort of this chain of events to get help.
Absolutely, and by doing that, one of the things that when she tipped people off, is that then maybe we can look at the bank records to see from the building surveillance cameras who else was in the parking lot, who else was following her, who was in the car with her, or may have followed her in the bank. But that was really brave of her to try and tip people off, I'm sure, at a great emotional cost to her family, who was being held while this was going on, and they were demanding her to go and get that money.
And it
really
shows sort of the premeditation of like the getting the money, going to the bank, bringing them back to the house, and then deciding to kill them and basically cover up all the evidence. I think they've got a lot to work with in this case, Paul.
A lot, for sure. These people are the worst kind of criminals. It's an unprovoked attack, the ultimate act of violence, and if these people did it, it's more than premeditation.
We're going to see, Paul, if they're really responsible. I think they have the goods. We'll see. And coming up, both of the men accused have long rap sheets. All right, we're going to take a look at why these men were not behind bars and instead were free to terrorize again.